Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up? It's your boys, the Basement Bookers Podcast, back with another episode of the Basement Bookers Podcast. Rich the Riz over there, Basement Jer over here, together, bullshitting about pro wrestling, making jokes, cracking open a cold one of water. For all of you out there in the Basement Bookerverse, Rich the Riz, welcome to this podcast you happen to be a part of and pay for. Go ahead there.
Thank you, bro. Lot of wrestling to cover this week. We are going to talk about the Slammies. We're going to talk about some AEW, a lot of WWE. We are, if you have been under a rock or if this is your first time listening to anything wrestling related, we're on the road to WrestleMania. So we got some coverage for you. We'll talk about some topics. We're going to talk about some of these storylines going in. So, Basement Jer, do you want to start us off with a topic?
I have to start off with the topics because it's my job. Now, let's talk about, first and foremost, the Stig Face scene around the world presented to you without context or our interruption. Nia Jaxx was obviously smiling on the side there. Obviously, it's nice of Rhea Ripley to acknowledge the bloodline, paying tribute to Rikishi, father to Jimmy J Solo, Jimmy J Jimmy Solo, Solo Jimmy J Jimmy.
Right.
It's a lot to break down in that specific spot there. Wrestling wise, the technique, pretty good. I feel like Nia Jax's motorboating technique needs work. I think she just didn't want to enjoy her job too much. She's a heel. She's trying to maintain the aura even in a house show setting. What a professional.
Right. Yeah, definitely Nia showing good professionalism there. Selling, because we all know she absolutely enjoyed it, but she was selling like she didn't. And Rhea Ripley, perfect form on that. Good prep work with the getting full cheekage, the step in, the execution. Perfect. Mommy is perfect.
Well, I don't know about all that, but we would say that,
I'm retarded?
that's a great answer. So now, let's move on. Let's go and talk about speaking of Nia Jax, we'll segue into the main event of Raw, I believe, which is a last woman standing, also an advertisement for Becky Lynch's book, which she used in the match. Rich Derez, how'd you feel about this main event match on Monday Night Raw? Last man standing.
This match, they built it well. They made it feel like it was must see. I thought the execution of the match was very good. One thing I noticed, I don't know if necessarily it was intended to be used for storyline, but they could come back to it. Becky Lynch hitting the manhandle slam on Nia Jax through the table. The manhandle slam is a Uranagi, which is a rock bottom. So something that could be brought up at a later date.
Yeah, I'm gonna press X for doubt on that. I mean, because when you go into that, then you're gonna open a whole other can of worms with special moves and things like that. Because a lot of people have special moves that a Uranagi could be anything really. I could have a Uranagi and call it the JRFU. You know what I'm saying? So you could have one called the Riz's baldest you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. So as The Rock would say, Now, speaking of The Rock, let's head off and talk about Cody Rhodes and his response to The Rock. How'd you feel about it? And what's with Cody talking about other people's members and size lack thereof? He said that Dwayne The Rock Johnson suffered from LDE. Now, did you not watch Monday Night Raw? Do you not remember the promo at all? What are we doing here?
No, I watch Raw.
Because
I
if I
already
have to bring it up for you, I will.
go. So I watched Raw. I have notes. I didn't expect to be put on the spot about the
You
specifics
didn't
of
expect to be
the
put
promo.
on the spot.
No, you're right. You're right. That's my fail. Play the clip.
Okay, here it comes.
I'm retarded?
Just
Yes.
for now,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. Let me. So he mentions he calls Roman a side chick. Night two, biggest spotlight. It's going to be on them. The title that's Seth and Drew. Wrong
Interesting.
one. There's Cody. I got all these notes. Um, so he calls Rock terrible salesman, a carny succubus, and a whiny bitch.
That's not the first time that term was used because he
Hmm.
used it on Chris Jericho in AEW.
Carny succubus.
Yeah, he's used that before.
Interesting.
It's not a new Cody thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, look, I'm not hating on Cody. I'm a fan.
Mhm.
I've said before, like, I wanted him to win last year, but I was a fool. And I feel like this year, especially after the pivot to from Cody to the Rock to Cody again,
Mhm.
it's really like Cody's gonna lose.
Mhm.
You know, I really thought that. Well, I did say here once again. I'm going to say it
Mhm.
again that Cody will lose to Roman
Yeah.
on night two.
Mhm.
Now, I already think, and I think you're in agreement. We already said this, but the tag team match is going to result in bloodline rules on Sunday.
Yeah. Gotta be.
Now, I'm not saying it's a guarantee. It could change, but right now, my feeling is that Cody's going to lose.
Mhm.
The Rock said he's going to do everything in his power. You can't go around calling yourself the final boss, right? It's the first time it's coming around.
Mhm.
And then Cody wins on night two. I just don't see it that way. I mean, it would be great. He would make a great, face of the company, but there's always SummerSlam. And if it wasn't for this Cody crybaby thing, we would have had Cody beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, I think, for the Seth Rollins Please Don't Go championship that none of us care about, the number 2 championship that was buried by Roman Reigns.
Mhm.
Now, some could argue that that might have led to the outcry,
Mhm.
calling everyone that Seth beat to become the world champion the number twos.
Mhm.
And Cody being the ultimate number two. And Roman even went back and said that again on Friday,
Mhm.
that it's okay to be the best number two. And we'll get to Friday because we're still here on Monday. I'm still waiting for that Cody promo. People thought it was Friday. I don't think it was Friday really, because
Mhm.
like Roman said, it was more of the same. Uh, can you trust The Rock?
Mhm.
And I don't know. What do you think? I think I'm getting away with things here.
I think we got as far as the fact that we haven't gotten the Cody promo yet. You're right. We got 2 Raws. We got 2 Smackdowns before Mania. This is why in our studio here, I called this episode the build up to the build up because there's a lot of inaction happening. And that's par for the course with Bloodline segments lately, the whole time, really. What is I mean, respectfully, Roman has what, 38, 58, something only double-digit title defenses in this record reign of his.
Work
Has brought us.
smarter, not harder,
I don't
as they
disagree.
say.
I don't disagree. I understand the light schedule and everything, but that does lead to a lot more talking segments, because how many times are you going to have Roman's upcoming opponent versus Bloodline member 1, Bloodline member 2, Bloodline member 3 if he gets through those two. It's gets repetitive. So now we're in just, they're all great at talking. Just let them go out there and talk. Maybe
Uh,
not another 40-minute thing like Rock, but whatever.
Like The Rock goes long, and that's going to be a concern of ours in the next couple of weeks. But we don't have to talk about that right now. Now let's move over to the other picture, because of course we will come back to this once we go more into SmackDown. But the Intercontinental Championship picture. Now, you have never seen Rocky 4, so you don't understand anything that I'm about to say. But the situation between Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and Gunter is that Sami Zayn's in the back, and Chad Gable, he's a doubtful Thomas on
Mm-hmm.
Zayn. And Sami Zayn's like, hey, man, what's the deal? I got a family too. I'm just trying to do my thing. Why can't I? Whatever. As if he's talking to us, not us specifically, the people that are upset that Chad Gable won. I mean, Chad Gable lost instead of Sammy losing. And why isn't it Chad Gable? There's the story, this and that. And Chad Gable is like, look, it's not that. I just don't think you can beat him. Like, you don't have what it takes. And Sami Zayn thinks he can. He's a contender here. And he also, Gunter, also he's like, look at this guy. He can't even dress for this contract signing. He's a hobo, you
Yeah.
know. And what do you think?
So everything, I want to say in general, everything WWE has been doing lately is so much better than equivalent segments of a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This storyline in particular, very, very interesting, because if we go back to the gauntlet match, or whatever it was, to be number one contender for Gunter. I don't remember what type of match it was, but it was Gable, Sami Zayn, was like 5, 6 guys.
It
I
was
think
kind of
Bronson
like
Reed
a
was in it.
gauntlet match, right? Because you have to
Yeah.
beat a guy and then keep on going. And
Yeah.
the last guy was the winner guy.
All right, so it was a gauntlet match. Other than the if we ignore the gauntlet gimmick of it, anyone could have won that. There's legitimate beef from Sammy. There's legitimate beef from Gable. Those are really the top two guys in it. And Bronson Reed could have been a dark horse because Triple H loves him. I don't get it. Someone's a fan. It's not necessarily me. Someone is a fan of Bronson Reed and thinks he deserves this.
Bronson
But
Reed thinks he deserves this.
he does.
You
And
know?
and he's making his presence known as well. But really, while Sammy should be focused on Gunter, as any contender to Gunter should be, now Gable is like, hey, are we gonna fight? I feel like they're leading up to a match. It's probably be this week on Raw, next week on Raw. I don't know.
Well, I think personally, I think Gunter should win. I think he should beat Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, for what I want to happen, there's a bit of a brand issue, but that could always change. Like if you see on currently this tag team bracket thing is between both shows for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. I don't know if you know this or even remember this, but I'm going to refresh your memory. Before Gunter was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, there was another gentleman, and his name was the Honky Tonk Man. Now, I did a deep dive on Wikipedia. Apparently, it wasn't even supposed to happen. I think Jake Roberts at one point was supposed to be an Intercontinental Champion instead of Honky Tonk Man, but Honky Tonk Man was friends with Hogan. So that's probably why he got to keep it as long as he did, but that's not the point. Honky Tonk Man, his streak, his Intercontinental Championship reign was ended at SummerSlam by the Ultimate Warrior. Now, I think Braun Breaker should beat Gunter at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship. He is the last person to pin Gunter, and it was at NXT when they unified the championship.
Wow, that's an interesting parallel, and certainly could happen. There could be I don't know if there's going to be a draft after Mania, or if there's going to be a couple of trades, or it could just be an open challenge scenario.
Open challenge at SummerSlam. I've
Yeah.
beaten everybody.
Hmm.
And then, they're pushing Braun Breaker on his speed and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
all
think
those stats they showed was kind of crazy.
there isn't going to be a match officially.
Hmm.
Gunter open challenge, intensity, and maybe like what happened with Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch.
Hmm.
I mean, if it could happen to Bianca Belair, it could happen to Gunter. He's been on a great run, but
Hmm.
like intensity and speed and the way that Braun Breaker moves, Gunter's not a speed guy.
Right.
He takes his time with you. He plays with his food.
Hmm.
So that could be an interesting matchup. And of course, there could be the rematch later and whatever you want to do with that.
What did they say? Braun can run like 23 miles an hour. That's insane.
No, I think it's 500. I think
I
it's
think
500. Yeah, it's got
miles
to
an
be
hour.
500, right? Yeah, like the Flash, but big Flash, not little Flash.
Mhm.
So
But yeah,
yeah,
like it would. The thing is, this run that Gunter has had, it wouldn't hurt him to drop it to Braun Breaker,
no, it wouldn't hurt it at all.
and it
You
would
know what
only
I mean?
make Braun Breaker even more.
Yeah, who else could you beat? And then it's got to like just build up from there. So I'm
Hmm.
kind of glad that they didn't break that streak. It's interesting that they have a lot of champions that are like just long distance. EO Sky reached like 300 days or something.
Hmm.
I think Rhea Ripley 600 or something like that. Or I'm just making shit up, but whatever. Oh,
Tribal Chief just hit 1300.
yeah, throw it up. The tribal chief has done it. And look, I just doubt that WrestleMania is going to be the end for that.
Hmm.
And speaking of now, a lot of this, look, I get it. We all finishing the story is a great little tag phrase in there. It's a nice little thing. But what happens when this is pro wrestling? The
Hmm.
story doesn't finish,
Right.
So what are we talking about here, right?
Hmm.
Like what
Co-
happens
yeah.
after?
Right. Cody wins. What next?
What's next here?
That's
So
tough to write.
Cody is SmackDown superstar now.
Hmm.
Does the tribal chief take some time off, come back for SummerSlam as he's scheduled to be?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I'd rather see The Rock versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
That sounds like a SummerSlam match.
So, and what does that mean for Cody? I don't know. It's not my fucking job
Right.
to write their shit. I just basement book.
Hmm.
I could do it in the video game. I can book that shit there, but I can't do that here.
Right.
So yeah, needless to say, I don't envy their position because
Hmm.
a lot of people are going to be very upset. There's going to be if you thought the deluge of Cody Crybaby tears was bad before, the Rock Riders are going to make it worse. So it's all about making money and it's all about business. Some people are better at fighting, going after, getting after. But what
Hmm.
happens then when you have it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Does MJF show up and screw Cody? You know, these
It's
are things
2024. I don't know the date, but
you
I
don't
don't know the
know.
date. I don't know the date of his contract. I know
I
today's
don't
date. I don't
know
know
if
the
you
date of the
know
contract.
this,
Hmm.
but it could be nothing because it never is something. But he's off the AEW roster list thing that they have. So
Mm.
that could be them doing their little playing around. Oh, he's missing, and then he just shows up at Dynasty in that stupid devil mask again.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Is,
I mean,
has he been mentioned on TV?
only in regards to like Adam Cole saying they got rid of him and all this stuff.
Hmm.
Adam Cole, who's Bianca Belair's arm is bigger than Adam Cole's torso. I've seen pictures.
Mhm.
It's a little bit funny, but I digress. Now
He's lifting Xbox controllers, you know?
I have to share something real quick off the Basement Bookers podcast.
Mm.
Well, we time traveled, Rich Derez. Now, this was taken from the SmackDown segment with the
Mhm.
Tribal Chief. Let it be known that what is said, the statement here, is not is not from the Basement Bookers podcast. We do not condone or agree with this behavior. Rich Derez, if you could listen here, and I'm gonna hit play. Can you hear?
Mhm. Yes, I hear.
Did you hear that?
I couldn't actually. Let's try that again. I remember hearing it live. I just don't remember what it was.
All
Let
right,
me
so I'm gonna
raise my
go to the
volume.
beginning.
Yeah.
Very carefully. I'm gonna make it. I'm a bigify
Mm.
so you can see where it's coming from. Obviously, she has been in her cups.
Mm.
Let us.
You need a room full of strangers to acknowledge your little bitch ass?
You want to go
Silly.
viral?
Silly, silly, silly.
She picked the silence and I'm trying to listen carefully. I'm going to play it again. I have to be careful because WWE, even
Mhm.
if it is a 15-second clip, Roman says something like he's trying to mumble something like, "Where's the like?" Hold on, ready? Now you gotta
Mhm.
listen carefully because it's low for him, and this is
Mhm.
as loud as I can make it.
Mhm.
It looked like he's like, "You're just gonna let me stand here or something?" Like,
Mhm.
we go back. I don't know. Anyway, like,
It wasn't sharing, so I wasn't able to hear it.
oh, never mind. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You saw what was important, right?
Yes.
So
So
yeah, like
I
I said, we don't condone that behavior here. We would never say that to the tribal chief's face
that
or
is
here
correct, or his back, or his anything while he is in the arena. However, I
or his
remember hearing it.
shoulders running into my stomach with a
Right,
spear.
right, right, because that's what would happen. Or we'll send Solo after you with the spike. But I remember hearing it live. I didn't remember noticing that it was her that said it. Like because it sounded like she was like behind the camera, so like, I wasn't looking to see who said it. But
Imagine if that was the
wow,
cameraman.
yeah,
They just like, whatever, I'm going out on my sword.
yeah, for real. It's like, bro, I will
Oh,
beat you with that camera, boy.
yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny. I thought.
Hmm.
So I guess we could talk about that. So what do you think about that? Look, personally, I knew what was gonna happen.
Hmm.
When Roman was talking about how stupid Cody is, and Cody talking about he knows factions and all that stuff, he knows about all that stuff.
Hmm.
And when they did like Jimmy, I'm like, all right, where's Seth? And then Seth comes out. And I was hoping for more of the Bloodline Revengers, but currently it's only these three gentlemen's
Hmm.
in the Bloodline Revengers. And even if it was 3-on-3, the tribal chief, the Bloodline backs off. So, which, that's what heels do.
Hmm. I think it was more of a message, right? To show that even if it's one on one, Roman will have the advantage. Even if Cody and Seth somehow pull off the win night one, night two, Roman will find a way.
Does it not prove that the tribal chief is not a chief of his word?
Absolutely does.
Which is very interesting because I didn't hear any language about no bloodline during our conversation.
Hmm.
There's no bloodline at the arena. No one
Right.
was going to come. It's
Hmm.
just a tribal chief. Either they're insubordinate or he's not a tribal chief of his word because he did that. And that meant that he knew they were going to be there and that was all part of his plan.
Right.
And kudos to Cody. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh no.
Hmm.
And he's like, oh, look at my guys. Seth Rollins maybe decide to wear his own clothes for once. I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now. But that's neither here nor there. Um, what do you make of Rey Mysterio and Escobar's match with Dominic Mysterio showing up? We have a match at WrestleMania going on. Could we have like Andrade and like Escobar and what maybe Andrade and Mysterio versus Escobar and Mysterio, you know? Because right now it looks like they're trying to get Andrade into Judgment Day, but I feel like it's more like building to something else. Like I don't see him being in Judgment Day like that.
Yeah, I think it's a build towards something else as well. I think it's they're what it'll end up being is an affiliation, not an actual like something closer than what Drew was when he was affiliated with the Judgment Day, but um not like JD McDonough where he'll eventually join. It's just mutual respect and common goals, which is just to come out and dominate. Ray versus Dom 2. Is it 2? Is it 3? I don't know. It's second Mania that they're doing it. So that, I mean, if they bring something new to the table, great. I think Dom has gotten a lot more confidence about him in the past year.
Yeah.
And it because of that, this could definitely be a better match. He's obviously gotten a lot more experience as well. And arguably, outside of the top storylines, one of the biggest heels on WWE TV at the moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long they're gonna do this angle with Rhea Ripley and Dominic, because Dominic's married now. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Like how long can you keep that up? I get we're all it's all the world's a stage and blah blah blah, but like
hmm
eventually something's gonna happen here. I don't think anytime soon, but considering that he's just taking L's on Monday, remember everybody was supposed to get their shit together, and JD didn't get his shit together, and
hmm
Dominic didn't get his shit together. So
Right. So another contract date that I don't know the date of is
what?
Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews.
Yeah,
So this, Dom getting married, if their contracts are expiring, there have been rumors that Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews are coming back to WWE. That could be an easy in for Buddy in Judgment Day and maybe Malachi as well, Aleister Black, Malachi Black. I- Interesting times
gotta be
all
careful,
around.
buddy. He's got that Kavorka. He's got the Kavorka.
Got something. I don't know what, but he's got something.
He's got powers.
Takes that
Well,
stink face.
I mean, listen, he says it's his nightly ritual, so I guess so. That was his reply to that.
Mhm.
So now, what do you think about this tag team championship Buckaroo Banzai they're doing over here? Do you think there's going to be it's a ladder match?
Mhm.
Now I hear a lot of theories here that one team is going to grab one and the other team's going to grab the other, and it's going to separate the belts once and for good. I think you should just make new titles. I think there should be new tag team titles hanging over there,
Mhm.
and the winning team gets these new belts. Let's just
The
make it one tag team championship because right now no one really cares.
yeah,
Like the tag division's lacking.
I think the long-term indecision over is it a unified title or do Raw and SmackDown have their own titles? The long-term indecision over that and historical booking of tag teams, things are changing, but historical booking of tag teams makes people not really care. It's
Yeah.
very it makes it difficult to care because why are you going to invest yourself in a tag team only to know that eventually okay that one's the Michaels, that one's the Genetti,
Are you talking about the Street Profits?
not specifically, but we may as
But that's a
well.
great example.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
fantastic example. Like there was talk about Montez Ford being the breakaway star, then there was talk about Dawkins being the breakaway star. I think that means either let them stay a tag team and be great, or let them stay a tag team and do single stuff and be great. Like Make them do like World's Greatest Tag Team. You don't have to break them up.
Whoever's making Dawkins' outfit should turn the lights on when they're making it. Like why can't they make cool outfits for him? Like it's always weird. Montez is the guy right
Mhm.
there. But I think together they're great. I think it should be like I think the tag team championship should be treated as two guys that work great together,
Mhm.
and they happen to be two of the best in a team.
Right.
And that's why the belt needs to reflect that, which is
Mhm.
why I want these nickel bag championships need to go. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And they need to look awesome. Like if you look at the presentation of Rhea Ripley's Women's World Championship and EO Sky's belt, those
Mhm.
belts mean something. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And I'm not a fan of the women's tag team championships, but the fact that they have one is fine.
Right.
And I segue off of that though. I don't think we're done with authors of time or whatever they're called now.
So there's a pain and the Final Testament.
Yeah, they're gonna interfere in that WrestleMania match, because there's no disqualification, so really they could just show up.
Yep.
So who knows? I don't know who's even gonna win that. I do see uh maybe Judgment Day loses and Priest tries to cash in that night.
Mm.
Because remember, he's no fan of Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre.
Right. Keep in mind, I did predict Drew beats Seth. Priest cashes in.
Yeah, I think that Priest should cash in and fail because the money
Mm.
match is Drew McIntyre CM Punk at SummerSlam. Even better, CM Punk says he's going to be at WrestleMania. So he could stop Priest from cashing in on Drew. There's a lot of moving pieces here.
There are. I don't
It's all
want Punk.
speculation. This is the episode, you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't want Punk. I really don't. Um,
You know they're
I,
going to
I
try to do a Summer of Punk shit.
that could be him chasing the title. It doesn't have to be
It is a
Drew with the
chase.
title. Like it could be
But that's the
Punk.
story, isn't it?
Yeah, but it
Drew
could be Drew.
took CM Punk's spot at Royal Rumble by injuring him,
Hmm.
and he's just digging at him the whole time. They can't just leave it like that, can't they? Like,
They're absolutely working towards a storyline with the two of them, which is fine. I really, really like my booking of Drew winning at Mania, beating Seth for the world title, and immediately getting cashed in on and dropping it to Priest. I feel like it's. I hate when the Money in the Bank is wasted. I really, really do. It irks me.
it hasn't been wasted in a while. Well, yeah, because Theory was the last guy, right? And he didn't. He failed too because he cashed it in on was it the United States Championship? He tried to cash in on and failed, something like
I
that.
think so. I think
It,
so. Was it Ray?
somebody, but he failed. It
Mm,
didn't work out. I don't think.
right. I don't like when it because the the it's for a match anytime. There, you had the John Cena who announced it a week in advance and everything, but I feel like it's weak. It's not utilized in a smart manner. You had this guy in this case, Damian Priest, win a high profile match with 5, 6 other guys, right? Why are you then going to portray him as someone not intelligent enough to strike when the iron is at its hottest?
As far as I know, Seth Rollins is still cleared. He was
Mhm.
cleared, so I don't know why he's not trying to cash in at all.
Right.
I just I see your booking and I raise you the Intercontinental Championship. If you want to live forever, I'm just saying, if you want to live forever, that's his shtick. And
Mhm.
I feel like right now, Damian Priest is a victim of the current landscape. The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, CM Punk,
Mhm.
Gunter. The list goes on and just moves homeboy down little bit by little bit. It's got nothing to do with his in-ring ability or his presentation. Like, we like Damian Priest here. We're fans here at the Basement Bookers podcast. But
Mhm.
personally, I just don't see him as undisputed Universal Champion, obviously, because that's Roman Reigns.
Mhm.
And I mean, sure, he could have the Seth Rollins Please Don't Go championship, but I really don't think he's quite there yet.
That could be their plan. It could be that their plan is to get us to sort of forget him,
And then him
right? To
just showing up.
dismiss him,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, you guys forgot about me, but here I am, and he's got the title.
Yeah. Well, Rich, that's the future, but also not the future. Let's move on to NXT. It's official. Lyra Valkyria will face the official heel Roxanne Perez with the slowed down music. Now she's officially a badman. She's a bad woman's, and
Mm.
she's upset. Look, I don't buy it. She's tiny, and she could be flossed. Like, Lyra Valkyria could just floss her teeth with her. But she's a prodigy and a heel, so she's a student of the game. Uh, she's probably going to win. She's probably going to get the belt back. So
Maybe I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, longtime fans and listeners and viewers of this podcast know I didn't believe Roxy as a heel or Vicious in her first run as such. This time around, kind of feeling it more. Like
look,
I'm getting that vibe from her.
I've had ferrets. They're
Mhm.
small, but they can be aggressive.
Mhm.
Okay. And Roxanne Perez, the ferret, she has a shot of taking down Lyra Valkyria, who's probably like a house cat. I don't know what the comparison here is, but who is to say? Because, like, think about it. If a cat was like your size, you'd be dead.
Oh yeah.
Like, if cats were the size of people, there'd be no
Mhm.
people.
I'd be
Like,
batted into the wall every day.
it's all, if you even got to be around, like,
Mhm.
you just, so. The NXT North American Championship picture appears to be progressing.
Mm.
Jensen has thrown his hat in there, it looks like, with Obafemi, who honestly should be the NXT championship, but that's another story. He should be the champion. Like,
Mm.
I've said it before. I said it when he walked in. I'm like, this is the guy. This guy, he's going to be. The future is like really good for him. He's amazing. I love that guy. Um, Tony D'Angelo, new presentation. He's got his consigliere. He's got his whole little family. By the way, I don't trust that motherfucker. That
Mm.
consigliere, he's gonna betray him. I know
Mm.
it. I don't. Oh, listen. While Tony D'Angelo's over here making deals, protecting the NXT parking lot, which he happens to own in my imagination, Dragonov's over here. He's on top of mountains. He's lifting logs. He's doing all these crazy workout things like he's about to fight Goku. You're not
Mhm.
fighting Goku. You're fighting Tony D'Angelo. You'll be all right. Forget about it. So, discount Garuch aside, let's
Mm.
head on down to AEW Dynamite and the celebration. Finally, it's happened. We have a new AEW Continental Champion. Okada dethroned Eddie Kingston. What'd you make of that?
Kingston had a great run. Kingston beat some guys that one of us on the podcast, that is not me, thought should have beat him. Just saying, just saying, just saying, just saying. Um, and listen, it's Okada, right?
Well,
It's a,
yeah, you gotta make sure that money works. You know what I'm saying? You paid a lot of money for that.
right. So, I mean, I'm down with it. I gotta check out the match still. That's on me, obviously, but can't be mad at it. Kingston had a really, really strong run. I think part of it was Tony Khan trying to, like, IRL build Kingston's confidence, saying, "Listen, yes, shut up. You do deserve this." Unless
Eddie
Kingston's
was
just
humble
that good of
about
a
it.
worker.
He
Yeah.
was humble in his loss, by the way. So,
Mm.
like, check that out. Full disclosure, my DVR didn't get Rampage, which was right after. So you got 3 hours of AEW on Wednesday, guys.
Nice.
So be sure to check that out. But the main event proper, you didn't get to see it, but we do have a new, I'm sorry to say, AEW TNT champion. Christian Cage has quit, which was, it was an I quit match. There's only one thing I had about it that I didn't like was there's a bit that you didn't see, but like they literally had a hockey fight. So Edge stole a jersey off a guy and put it on Christian Cage, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Christian Cage sitting there and he's putting it on himself while Christian puts on a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey and they fight. I'm like, way to take me out of it, man. What are you doing, man? And I guess it's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just putting on my shirt. But whatever. Anyway, you got to see it for yourself. Maybe we'll revisit that. We'll talk about that.
I saw the
Um,
hockey fight part of it. I
yeah,
didn't see the clothing of it, like with them
yeah.
clothing each other or whatever the hell.
Look, I'd quit too if I got kicked in the dick as many times as Christian Cage did. You need that. It's a tool. It's a very important thing to have. But if
A-
somebody's going to keep,
As the head of the patriarchy, that would be his weakness.
yeah. And what's next for Christian Cage? I don't know. I think eventually it's going to happen where they're going to tag up. That's what they want to do is finish up together. So
Let's see how they get there.
first, the family's got to. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo tagged up against Tony Storm and Timeless Tony Storm in a tag team match. Yes, I said Tony Storm and Timeless Tony Storm. Okay, just pay attention to AEW. Okay,
I'm
you know what I
following.
mean. So
Mhm.
Thunder Rosa got the pin on Timeless Tony Storm in their tag team match, and Deonna Purrazzo didn't look happy about that. I'm happy that Thunder Rosa's back, by the way. She was looking great in there, and this could be interesting. Them trying to like the picture, the AEW Championship picture, and it looks to me like Mercedes Moné might be looking into the other championship, the TBS Women's Championship, currently held by Julia Hart.
Well, it's a good thing that Tony Khan paid so much money for someone he's going to put with a secondary title.
A secondary title made famous by Jade Cargill. You know,
True.
so who knows? Maybe I'm pretty sure she's going to go on a run with that until whenever she wants, honestly. And look, it's causing a little bit of resentment. Look, I'm not back there, but I see things, I don't think the Britt Bakers of the world are happy about this. Going out there, doing what they do, bleeding and doing all this stuff for the company. And like Mercedes Moné just strolls in, get that bag, girl, not hating. As long as
Mhm.
you're not like that snake Sasha Banks, which people keep saying, these disgusting rumors that Sasha Banks is Mercedes Moné. And I think you guys need to check your eyesight, okay? And maybe have a little talk with yourselves in the mirror. But
Hmm.
that's besides the point. I don't even want to get into that. Rich the Riz, it's time. It's time. It's Slammy time. It's time to
Yes.
talk about the Slammy Awards. I'm going to present Tab for the Slammy Awards, and we're going to go through it. And of course, we're going to start with the female superstar of the year, Rich the Riz, and the
Mm.
let me bigify for myself here. There we go. So, female superstar of the year. We have Rhea Ripley. We have Bianca Belair. We have Bailey. We have Io Sky. And we have Becky Lynch. Rich the Riz, who do you think is female superstar of the year? And is someone missing from that list, in your opinion?
Mm.
It'll be the same for every category. So.
I honestly don't think anyone is missing from that list. I'm trying to run down the roster in my head. I don't think anyone is missing from that list.
Me neither.
I would put, respectfully, Bailey as the closest second, and Rhea at number 1.
I agree. Rhea Ripley, followed by Bailey, Becky, Io. But it's hard because I think everybody here is pretty much tied for 3. You know what I mean? Because Bianca Belair, like this year, really, it's not her best year, but she's still really great. So
Yeah, it's just a matter of the rest of the women's division. Like, there was so much work to do. They worked on everyone else in the division and did a great job. Bianca did everything that she was asked. It's just that she was asked to do a bit less this year than last year and the year before.
true that.
But I think they might be heading to a heel run. I don't know.
Well, we'll see about that. I
If
mean,
so,
let's talk about this for a second.
mhm,
So Naomi backed up Bailey, and she had a match against Io. Bailey was taken out in the back before Io even came out, so she couldn't help Naomi after when there was a beatdown and Damage Control came down. Then Bianca came down to help, and she got beat up for her troubles.
right.
And everybody was calling for Bailey, but Bailey was taken out.
Mm-hmm.
And we do know Jade Cargill has a problem with Damage Control.
Yep.
So could Jade Cargill factor in to this?
I think she could. Be very interesting to
Make
see.
a big difference maker. I'm looking at like a 6-man.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Kai, Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair.
Yep. And then Io defend the women's title.
And she'll be by herself because that match will probably come before that. And there you go. All right, let's move on down to male superstar of the year. This is going to be interesting. This is difficult, it looks like. So Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, Seth freaking Rollins, Gunther, and Logan Paul. Richard is male superstar of the year. Tread carefully, my friend. This could be a problem for you. And me.
First answer is not Logan Paul.
All right. Well, let's
now that we're down to 4. Cody has been probably the biggest pushed face on TV. Period.
Beat Brock Lesnar, who we're not allowed to talk about. What? 3 times?
Was it 3? Or
Was that this year? Wait a second. We're only. Never mind. That's last year. Wait, is this for last year? I'm confused because we're only in March.
2023. It's for 2023.
Okay, there you go then. All right, so if it's for that, then this changes.
The fact that they don't give us a start date to say, okay, well, start, like, if you want to recap, start at this date and end at this date. They don't do that for us because it's a work anyway. Who cares? But
Royal Rumble, beating Brock. That's a lot. That's a lot on the resume.
Yeah, Cody, the biggest face, second Rumble in a row. Roman, clearly the biggest heel. Seth, second biggest face, right?
And I don't even know what the criteria is, right? They don't give you the criteria. The people pick.
Right.
So I'm picking Roman Reigns. Throw it up.
I mean, respectfully. Respectfully. I got to put Roman at 2. I think it's Cody.
All right. So you see Cody, Roman. I say Roman, Cody, Gunther, close like this. Just touching. Like
I actually have it in the order that it is on screen there. Cody, Roman, Seth, Gunther, Logan Paul.
I'll put Gunther above Seth Rollins because Gunther didn't injure. He's never been hurt. He went, you know what I'm saying? He's defended his championship a shitload of times, probably more than Seth has.
Yeah, but take into account Seth has been working hurt.
Allegedly.
Right. There's the whole broke his back, but still wrestling. Okay, if you say
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah. Listen, when Batman got his back broken, he wasn't Batmaning. He had to have like another guy do Batman stuff.
Mm.
So
Alfred, did he send in Alfred?
no, it was this other
Oh.
guy. We're not talking about comics.
Okay.
All right, Rich Torres. Let's move on down to best entrance. This is pretty easy. So, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, Seth freaking Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, The Rock, Dominic Mysterio, WrestleMania 39. Now, I'm wondering why they specifically stated WrestleMania 39. They're like, listen, we know his entrance normally just sucks, but we're specifically talking about the one where he was like coming in as a jailbird. Remember that? That's what we're talking about, guys. That's what
where
we're saying.
they had to remove that accidental picture of Auschwitz.
Yeah, that one. Oh, this is like the
For
last one. This is fucking difficult because Cody
wait,
and Roman.
all right, right. So for if we break it
I
up,
like
male
Rhea
versus
Ripley too.
female's Rhea.
Yeah.
Male, let's say 1A, 1B in no particular order. I'll get to an order in a moment. Cody and Roman,
Mm-hmm.
and then very very close to is Seth.
I put
Then
Becky
Rock.
dead last. Like, there's really, I put Becky and Seth dead last. Like, what are we talking about here? Whoa, that's all you're doing.
Fans
You
love
know,
it. Fans love it. They
I
love to
know, but it's
sing
not. I'm
his
asking you what
song.
you like
Me?
and what I like. We're not worried about them. They could
No, I know,
fucking
I know, I
vote.
know. I know. All right.
I went heel. I'm asking your opinion.
Interactivity makes everything feel bigger.
That's
So I got
true.
1 Cody, 2 Seth, 3 Roman, 4 Rhea, and the rest fill in the blank.
All right, I'm just gonna go Roman, Cody, Rhea Ripley.
Mhm.
Because I love the music for all of it, and I really like these superstars. It gives them an aura. I don't feel any kind of aura with these other people,
Mhm.
and except for The Rock. But like The Rock is recent. Like they
Yeah.
finally got it good with the lightning and the red-eyed Brahma bull and
Did you say finally?
finally The Rock.
Mhm.
So now we're gonna go on to Return of the Year. CM Punk, The Rock, Nia Jax, Randy Orton, and Naomi. I have a feeling, and my choice is going to have to be, unfortunately for you, my brother, is CM Punk, because that really set the world ablaze. And really, a lot of us didn't think it was coming, but there it was.
It was kind of the writing on the wall. All right, here's my order. Rock, Orton, Naomi, fine. Punk, then Nia.
All right, I will not fight you. So let's move on to Faction of the Year. This seems to me pretty easy. Or is it? Now we have the Judgment Day, Alpha Academy, Imperium, the Bloodline, and Damage Control. I wonder if they spelled it Damage Control because they didn't want to get in trouble with Marvel, because Damage Control is the company that cleans up after like the Hulk messes shit up and stuff like that in the Marvel universe. So,
Probably. Bloodline, Judgment Day, Damage Control. Yeah. Bloodline,
yeah.
Judgment Day, Damage Control, Imperium Alpha Academy. By the
Yeah,
way, when's the last time we saw Gable with Alpha Academy?
they come out together usually. They're together still.
I feel like it's been a bit. Gable's
Like, it
focused.
depends. When Gable's focused on his seriousness, he goes by himself. But he's supportive of Maxine and Tozawa and Otis, but maybe he's been focusing on the fundamentals.
Can I interrupt here real quick?
Yeah, man.
Chad Gable, listen to me for a moment, okay?
Oh my god.
Now, short man to short man, okay?
Shorty G.
Look great in the suit. Good shit. I'm down with it. As a short man, you're wearing a suit. You can't wear sneakers, please.
Yeah, it's a bit childish. Um, true that. You're
Sell some
learning.
shoes. Yeah. Yeah.
Get some shookers. You
Yeah.
know, they feel like sneakers, but they're shoes.
Yeah.
All right.
I got myself a pair.
I also have a pair because you have a pair. All right,
Mm.
let's move on down. Rivalry of the year. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. It's still fucking going. Bianca Belair versus Damage Control. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And of course, R-Truth versus the Judgment Day. That's an honorable mention for me. Rich Torres, your thoughts on this?
Number 1, Roman versus Cody. Number 2, Seth versus Drew. 3, Bianca versus Damage Control. 4, Dom versus Ray. 5, Truth versus Judgment Day. To me, Truth versus Judgment Day wasn't really a feud. It was exactly what it was. You know, Truth's out there having fun, thinking he's joining the club, and they're like, no. And they're like, yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, yeah, stop playing, stop playing. They're like, no. And he's like, yeah, I know you're playing. You know, all good, all good, all good. He's like, no. It was fun.
But they jumped him in a few times. He thought he was in.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Let's-
fun. It was
yeah.
perfect for what it was.
Unrelated, I think Awesome Truth should win the Undisputed Tag Team Championship ladder match. Just saying.
Go for it. Won't be mad.
I like how they won too. In case you guys didn't see, an unconscious In the Sheer member, like Truth just falls on him and the pin is counted. So
Right. That was, oh man, I don't remember if it was Vera Sanga.
I think it was Senga. Yeah, because I remember because he's the movie one. He's
Yeah.
the one that I saw in a movie.
Yeah, Veer hit an elbow as Miz pulled him out. Truth was knocked out, landed on Sanga. 1, 2,
Or
3.
Senga.
Mm.
But it's our Truth. He's got like 100 years of experience. So let's move on
Yet
now.
his childhood hero was John Cena.
That's right.
Love it.
And
Benjamin
let's move.
Button.
Yeah, but dude, I swear he gets even younger. I'm
He-
sitting there, I'm
he-
like, what do I
Our
gotta do?
tr- yeah,
What do I gotta do?
our Truth is a treasure.
And our
Alright.
Truth, like walking the Miz through the rap, he's like, hold on, I got this, bro. Just you do your thing.
Follow my lead.
Follow my lead. Oh, I meant to say, I love the camera following Sami Zayn straight to the back, one continuous shot,
hmm
like walking past Truth and Miz as they're having the little conversation, getting ready to go out there. I thought that was pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, so like we were discussing, just to put it out here, what I really like about that is like when you're watching a wrestling show, it's kind of like, okay, here's a segment, and then here's an unrelated segment, then here's an unrelated segment. This took 2 otherwise unrelated segments and just merged them together. We got to see like it literally walked us through the on-screen segment to the back, following them, and then we landed where we did, and then we followed them out. It gave us more of a sense of direct continuity
There's a
than
lot of
just
this is a real
segment cut,
place that
segment
people
cut.
work, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like this is a place where people work. Like when
Mhm.
Bianca Belair's talking with Naomi, Cody signing those like team championship belts bullshit they're trying to sell. Doesn't
Yeah.
even acknowledge that he's in the shot. He's just doing his business. As Bianca and Naomi just walking straight through. I'm like, that's pretty dope that they're doing
Mhm.
that stuff.
Yep.
And you're not even taking away from like ring time with them talking about stuff backstage. It's just a part of the thing, which is optimizing minutes, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you got like there's nothing happening in the ring, but the people there in attendance are still have something to watch.
Yeah.
Well done.
Now let's head on down to the land of opportunity. NXT Superstar of the Year. This is difficult. Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, and of course, Braun Breaker. Before you go, Rich Torres, I'm going to go with Braun Breaker and Tiffany Stratton here. Dead even on here for me personally. But then again, Carmelo Hayes has been doing some great shit. So your call, buddy. What do you think?
It's actually a little easier for me. I think the top two would be Ilya and Carmelo. They've had the most TV time of the five here during the whatever time period we're thinking, right? But for me, it's Carmelo. Like Ilya, Ilya's got the title. Ilya's doing great. But the storyline the whole time has been Carmelo,
I
and
wonder
he
if the
is.
fix is in. If you think
Good.
about the order of
Mm.
all of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at Faction of the Year, right? Like, Judgment Day, that could be a possibility. And then you look at Superstar of the Year, Dragunov and Hayes up there at the top. You know, it could be like one of those things where they try to get into your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they really should put them in alphabetical order.
Yeah, because otherwise you're giving the game away, and people just like, well, we did like click to vote, so we don't know how it's in there. So
Mm-hmm.
let's continue on. Match of the year: Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, San Juan Street Fight. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn, Elimination Chamber 2023. I'm thinking that's one of them for me. Gunter, Chad Gable, Raw 9/4/23. Okay, that's a contender right there. Asuka versus Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam 2023. That's a no for me, dog. I'm not into triple threats like that. And Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 39.
I
Absent
will.
here, though. Sorry. Gunter versus Sheamus versus Drew. I think should be here, but I digress.
For real, like if we're gonna go with triple threat match of the year, that
Yeah.
Gunter, Sheamus, Drew is it. Period. I will say first, Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. Most surprisingly good match of the year, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
all the rest we had high expectations for. Bunny versus Priest, we did not have such high expectations for, but damn, Bad Bunny showed us. And sort of paved the way for Logan Paul. So fuck you for that. I mean, what? But otherwise, like Gunther versus Gable was great. Charlotte versus Rhea was great, but it's Roman and Sammy.
Yeah, I was heavily invested in that, so that's got to be the criteria for me.
Mhm.
So now we have OMG moment of the year. Rey Mysterio punches dirty Dominic Mysterio. CM Punk returns to Survivor Series to WWE. Io Sky cashing in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam. Rock slaps Cody. Damage Control turns on Bailey, and Cody Rhodes slaps The Rock.
So that was only 2 weeks ago. So apparently we're going from last Mania to 2 weeks ago. So it's Mania to Mania, I guess, is the time frame they're thinking here.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fair.
Man, bunch of these things, like maybe we didn't see Rock slapping Cody coming exactly, but we saw Cody slapping Rock coming. We saw Damage Control turn on Becky coming. We knew Io was going to cash in Money in the Bank. We knew Rain Down was going to happen. Damn it!
Damn it.
I gotta give it to Phil.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even close, really, honestly. Like the whole, first of all, I don't think a heel slapping a face is not exactly OMG. It's like, oh no, he slapped him. Okay.
Right.
It's wrestling. The OMG is that he didn't punch him. How about
How
that?
about OMG moment of the year? Vince getting ousted from his own company.
Who?
Right.
What the shit are
Right.
you talking about? All right.
That good phrasing there. But
Thank you.
no, that's definitely the right-in winner.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Social star of the year: Grayson Waller, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Chelsea Green, Liv Morgan. I picked Drew McIntyre. What do you think?
I mean, Drew's pretty great, but
I figure him dragging Punk would be like your favorite.
it
Every
is
chance he
great.
gets.
It is great, but like, doesn't Logan Paul live on social media?
That is true, but it's whoever you want. It's not like it's definitive. What do you
Uh,
think?
I stuff like this, I go by data points. Data points are I'm certain Logan Paul has a lot more interactions.
Yes,
through.
we'll pull up their social blade and see how they do. That's how they
Beep,
measure
beep, 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 beep,
like
beep, beep.
social media stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go Logan.
All righty, Logan Paul for Rich the Riz, Drew for me because LOL. All right.
Hmm.
Breakout superstar of the year. Jay Uso,
Hmm.
Tiffany Stratton, pretty deadly. All right. Dragon Lee and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Rich the Riz, this is a difficult one for you, isn't it? Or is it?
So Jay literally broke out, right?
Out of
Of the
Uso
bloodline.
Penitentiary.
That's right.
Being locked
That's right.
out.
Yup. Tiffany is only a breakout superstar if you haven't been watching NXT, right?
Sure.
Same for Pretty Deadly. Dragon Lee kind of burst onto the scene and made a big splash. LA Knight, yeah. It's tough. It's like, so this is tough because it's how do you define breakout? Of all 5 of these here, Jay's lowest to highest has been the most extreme. So I would say Jay.
I'll
If
say, yep. Go ahead. Go, please.
if we're going by who got to a higher level as a single or in as they're listed here, Jay and LA Knight kind of both got there. So that would be probably a tie. I don't know. I guess I gotta go with Jey Uso.
Well, for me, Rich the Riz is going to be LA Knight. I have a few criteria. Number one, Jey Uso, he got there with his family.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like LA Knight, outsider, not even, from here, and he got himself over. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I'm not saying Jay didn't, but he didn't do it alone. No one really does it alone, but I feel like LA Knight really it was organic and it happened.
Mhm.
Jay was built as main event Jey Uso forever. That SummerSlam match with Roman, like people were believing he could do it,
Mhm.
and that was Roman's plan to get his family up, to the tribal chief,
Mhm.
and that's why I pick LA Knight. So,
All good.
all right. So that's it for that list there. That is going to be the Slammies. What do you think, Bookiverse? What do you reckon? You gonna vote? You're not gonna vote? Look, Basement Bookers Podcast of the Year is not on there, but obviously it's us. Thank you. We appreciate that. We're waiting for the Slammy in the mail. But unless there's anything else you wanted to bring up, Rich, there is. I think it's time for you to, and for me to, yeah. So what's up with that?
All right. Let us know what you thought of our votes. Who do you think should win each of those slams? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know on socials. Of course, patreon.com/basementbookerspod has all of our socials. Don't forget, for just $1 a month, you get to be an enhancement talent. And Joe's got a party message.
Not only as enhancement talent, you can help us out. We can help us keep the lights on. The match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the bookers. And only if you're not going to miss that dollar because times is hard.